Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss how to rename a column in SQL Server. We're going to discuss two ways of renaming a column. I'm going to go over how to do it using an alias column and also using a stored procedure called SP rename. First, we're going to open our customers table, which contains 9 columns. The customer ID column, first name column, last name, address, city, state, zip code, area code, and the phone number column. So I'm going to click execute to open our table. And here you can see each of the columns, and you can see the data, all the records stored in the customers table. And what we're going to do first is we're going to rename the zip code column to say PostalCode. Now we're going to be using what we call an alias. And an alias column is a temporary name that's assigned to a column in a query result set, which means that when the query is run, you can rename this column to something else, but it doesn't change the actual column name that's stored in the table. Okay, so let's take a look at our query where we're going to change the zip code column to say PostalCode column. So here's our new script. You'll see select the customer column, first name column, last name column, address column, city, state. Now when we get to zip code, we're using an alias column called PostalCode, and we're going to use the as keyword to assign postal code to zip code. So when the query is run, instead of seeing zip code like we see below, we're going to see postal code in the place of zip code. And then of course you'll see the area code after that in the phone number column, because we're only changing the zip code column to say postal code. And keep in mind, like I said, this is not changing the actual column name that's stored in the table. You're only going to see this new name when you run the query. So I'm going to highlight just this query so we can see the name change. So I click execute, and here you see postal code instead of zip code. And now I'm going to unhighlight that query so that we can run both queries and see the difference. So I click execute, and so this first query has zip code in it. So you see the zip code. And then the second query says postal code. Zip code as postal code. So what we have done is we've changed the name of the column to postal code instead of zip code. Now for our second example, we're going to use the SP rename stored procedure. Now for that one, it actually does rename the column permanently inside the table. The SP rename stored procedure is a built-in system stored procedure that renames database objects such as tables, columns, indexes, and constraints. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our query using the stored procedure. So we're going to be using the SP rename stored procedure. So we start off using the EXEC, which means execute. We're going to be executing the SP rename stored procedure. And then we start off with the name of our table, which is customers. And then we're going to separate customers with a dot and also include the old column name. So it's customers, dot, and the name of the old column name, which we're going to be editing, called zip code. And notice that we have quotes enclosed around each line. So the first line has quote and a single quote at the end. Then our next line is going to be the name of the new column that we want in the table. It's going to be called postal code. So we're changing zip code to postal code. And then again, you see the single quotes. And then the last line is just telling SQL Server that we're going to be editing a column. So we use the column keyword here at the bottom. So we have execute the stored procedure SP rename. We see the name of our table, the name of our old column, the name of our new column, and then we're just telling SQL Server that we're editing a column. So we click execute, and it says changing any part of an object could break scripts and stored procedures, but it was completed successfully. And this is an automatic warning that you always get when you edit columns like this, because sometimes you have tables that are connected to other queries that are run automatically, like triggers and views that you might have set up in stored procedure, and so it might not work correctly, those codings that are connected to this table. So it's just warning you ahead of time that just because you're updating it here does not mean it's going to update in your other codes that use this table. So now we're going to take a look at our customers table and see the new column name that used to be zip code, and now we've changed it to say postal code. So here's our script. We have select the columns here, and as you can see, we're selecting the zip code column. So since the zip code column no longer exists, this shouldn't run. So I'm going to highlight our script and click execute. And as you can see, it says invalid column name because zip code no longer exists in the database table. So we're going to change that to say postal code. And now I highlight the script so that we don't run both of these at the same time. I'm highlighting this one. We click execute, and the table opens with the new column name, which is now postal code. I hope that you enjoyed today's video on how to rename columns in SQL Server. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out the description section where we feature high-rated data science resources. Have a great day, and I'll see you on our next video.